Welcome to the 50 for 50 podcast for Sycamore View Church in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm your host, Anna Moser. In 2028, our church will turn 50. As we look forward to that celebration, we're taking a look back at the stories and people who have shaped our church. 50 stories over 50 months to celebrate 50 years. I encourage you to jump on our website, sycamoreview.org/50-4-50 to watch a short video telling this month's story. We'll be diving deeper into that story here with a special guest each month. So let's jump right in. It's the month of August, and this month we are talking about our partnerships with our adopted schools, which is perfect timing with back to school season. So with me right now, I have Brenda South. And Brenda, I'm going to start by having you introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Brenda South. I have been at Sycamore View for 30 years. Wow. And the reason we are here at Sycamore View is my childhood congregation began to see the winds of change, and the opportunities for our youth were not being put to the forefront. So we had family members here, especially my parents, and decided maybe that's where we needed to go. And one of our daughters had attended Mother's Day out, and I'd worked as a volunteer during that time. So we visited, and even in that first time we were here, we were so spiritually filled with the scripture and with the message, the love that we were shown, that we decided this was the place where we needed to be, needed to grow, needed to serve. And so we placed our membership.
Nice. And now you have grandkids here.
Now we have grandkids here.
That's awesome. A lot of changes in 30 years.
Yes,
sure.
Lots of changes.
Yeah,
lots of
that's
changes.
Great. And you're very active in the praise team and the women's ministry. And you also happen to be a teacher at one of our adopted schools, Shelby Oaks. Can you tell us how long you've been teaching, what grade, subject you'll be teaching this year?
In all my years of teaching, I'm 33. At Shelby Oaks, I have been there 25. Wow. 25. I've mostly taught second grade. For a period, I did a looping process where I would teach first grade and then go up to second grade with that same group of kids. Okay. So I did that for about 6 years. I loved it. I would do it again because it really helped you to bond with those kids.
Yeah, that's awesome. And this year you're teaching second grade.
This year, yes. This year I'm teaching second grade again, and I'm part of a 3-man team where I will be teaching the foundational parts of reading. Learning to actually recognize components of words, being able to decode words and make meaning of words and put them in sentences to make meaning of sentences, and then onto paragraphs. Not just helping kids learn to not just call words because they recognize them, but understand the word parts as well. So they can't get that. The comprehension part is lacking there.
Yes.
So.
There's so much about getting to reading level in second grade.
Yes.
Because after second grade, you have to read for every subject.
Yes. In second grade, it's in kindergarten, first and second, you are learning to read. And halfway through second grade, we flip that to now you are reading to learn. And that's where it's important. If they don't get that foundational part, then the others they struggle. So So I'm excited about it. I'll have 3 sections of about 20, so 60 kids, 60 families. Wow. So it's a lot of undertaking this year, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of teaching? What's the best part for you?
Oh, the aha moments. Definitely. When you have worked and worked and worked on something, and then finally the kid goes, I get it! And you're like, yes, that's it. That's one of my favorite parts. And then, of course, building relationships with families, not just the students, but their families and those that last. I've got some pretty good friends. And I've got some previous moms that text me and check on me every once in a while. So it's really nice.
That's special.
I love that. That's my favorite part of teaching.
Yeah. Okay, on the other side, what do you think is the hardest part of being a teacher?
The hardest part of teaching for me is balancing the demands of school and personal life. It kind of all runs together.
Yeah.
Where it's hard to shut my brain off and get back into what I need to do personally, whether that be personally, spiritually, or with my family, or I'm always thinking about the lesson that I could have done something a little bit different, or how I could help this kid that didn't get what we were doing that day, or maybe there's a lesson that you're teaching and you get crickets. You answer for questions, when you ask questions, and you're like, okay, how do I reach this again? So let's revisit this. So it's kind of hard to shut your brain off and have that quiet time. And I think that's probably the hardest. That, and then, of course, having to deal with sometimes districts and administrators that, you don't maybe see eye to eye, but you have to be that servant and go on and do things, that you're like, that's not really the best way, but okay.
And for being a teacher for so long, things just constantly are changing. What the standards are, the curriculum, and all that.
Right.
So.
Are we skill-based? Are we standard-based? And it's there's a lot of comparative situations where you're like, you're comparing apples and oranges. Like one set of rules is for a group of kids, but ours may not be at that point. Even curriculums. We had a curriculum a few years ago that you're like, I'm reading to these kids all the time, but they're supposed to help them learn to read. That didn't work. So anyway, just things like that. That those are the hard things. Yeah. But you just have to look for the joy each day and build those relationships.
Yeah. Well, we always love coming to Shelby Oaks and getting to see you. It's so neat to have a connection with having a member at our adopted elementary school, and you kind of get to have your foot in both of those worlds. I do. What are some of the most memorable moments of when our church showed up to support you?
So this question I really pondered over because I'm partial. I've been here. I was here before I was at Shelby Oaks, and so instead of it being my perspective all the time, I reached out to about 30 previous and present colleagues to get an idea of where did they feel supported by Sycamore View. And it was interesting the things that continued to come up in the conversation. Back to school luncheon, being prayed over, knowing that we were being prayed over all year long as a group, but personally as well. There was a time that the adoptees came, and or the adoptees were invited, and some of my colleagues came, and they actually had Sycamore View members grab their name, and they knew that they were specifically being prayed over. And I love that too. I love that part too. In fact, I have notes from Joy Williams. I have a book from Carrie French that was given to me the year they were praying for me, and that just really, I keep those things near and dear to my heart. So some of my colleagues said that they felt such peace going into the school year, knowing that we were hedged in prayer. A Rise to Read kept coming up as far as my second grade colleagues, helping those kids with learning their sight words, which help with fluency, which helps them grow in their reading skills. How the church shows kindness and caring for our students throughout the year with clothes, like the clothing sale will donate clothes to our clothes closet, the back to school supplies, and helping the kids pick out the supplies that gives them their ownership of those, helps them get geared up, and mental strategies for getting them ready, as well as just having a friendly face in the building with the kids and the parents. Other things with the prayers and support during difficult times. We had an administrator that was very ill, and she told of a time where a minister, Mark Taylor, had prayed over her, and she ended up not going to ICU that day. So the personal prayers, that kept coming up during hardship times, deaths in our faculty, or with our students, hard times. And then I had one colleague actually say, Sycamore View Church embodies the hands and feet of Christ with how they pray for and care for our students and staff. So I thought that was a very poignant comment to send to me. Because it does fit our motto with helping people see Jesus. She didn't know that. So.
Yeah. She summarized that for you.
She did. She did a great job.
That is so sweet.
It's not just me. It is everyone. And we have new staff coming in, so I'm sure that, they're going to also learn how much Sycamore View supports us.
Yeah.
Even in ways we don't realize, that in the background.
Yeah.
We don't see.
Yeah. It's such a unique opportunity to be able to have presence there. And even just last year at the back to school lunch, we did it at Shelby Oaks last year, but Dr. Hope gave me the opportunity to pray for the staff and said, some people might not be comfortable with that. If you'd like to step out of the room, that's fine, because this is a public school. Right. But nobody left. Everybody, I think just to know people are there to encourage you and think about you is so impactful, no matter what your beliefs are, so that's special. So
and when there's lots of different walks of faith in the building.
Yeah.
But we all have that, center about knowing that God's taking care of us.
Yeah.
And loves us.
So how can our church be praying for you as you begin this new school year?
First, I think I would pray for our district. Our district is distracted by social issues right now, or they have social distractions, I should say, right now with our superintendent and things. And just pray for them to realize that the most important thing in all of this is the kids. Yeah. That the students need us to pay attention to them. They need us to make them the most important part of this.
Yeah.
And for me personally, pray for strength, endurance, and wisdom to guide my students toward becoming better at reading, specifically this year for me. And then for me to be a light for all those that I see each day, whether it's an administrator, staff, parent, student, that I can continue the mission of what we have here at Sycamore View.
Yeah, that's great. I have already said this, but when we get to come see you, I can just tell other teachers, your students, there's such a love and respect for you as a teacher. And so it's neat to see the way that you are the hands and feet of Jesus in the classroom.
Well, I'm actually the only one in the building that has been there since the building opened.
Wow, okay.
When the building opened, Tia was in the 2nd grade. So Kevin and I were part of the PTA. We got involved. And then it was when she was in the 5th grade that I became part of the staff there.
Okay.
So I've seen it through lots of ups and downs, lots of changes, but I always tried to keep that, the relationship of knowing that Christ has me covered. I want to be able to share that, and I try to be a listening ear for people that need to vent so I can keep it and pray over it.
Yeah.
But thank you. I love the school. It's easy for me to talk about it. We could talk all day about it because it's my passion.
That's true. I love it. Well, last question. I've been asking everybody to share a short prayer or hope that they have for our church as we're looking back, but we're also looking forward to the future and how God is continuing to work in our church and our community. So what would your hope or prayer be?
My hope and prayer is for the relationship between Sycamore View and Shelby Oaks to continue to grow with more volunteers, just in different ways. And maybe, but maybe the school can give back to the church some way. I don't know how that would work, if that would even be possible because of the separation of church and state. But I love them, I love Sycamore being apart. I love my two families blending, the people that I love the most. So that's my hope, is that it continues, and I feel like it will, even when in the next few years, maybe when I retire, but that it will continue. And then when I retire, I'll get to be a part on the other side.
Yeah.
So, but that's
the best volunteer over there.
I think Dr. Hope I think my principals have liked knowing. It's like, having my foot in both places, because they'll say, Dr. D.C. Ralph will say, hey, contact Anna and ask.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Well, you've been such a big part of that relationship, and I hope and pray it keeps growing too. So it's an honor to get to be a part of it. So thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for letting me come and talk about something that's so near and dear to my heart.
It's super special. And we've got a second guest on the podcast today, Marcus Clark. I'm going to have you start by introducing yourself and how long you've been at Sycamore View and what brought you here.
Okay, so hi, I'm Marcus Clark. I'm originally from Houston, but I came here for the Memphis Teacher Residency Program, and I've been a teacher here in Memphis for about 15 years. My current deal is at the Collegiate School of Memphis. I went back to IT, so I'm a full-time IT administrator, and I also teach computer science there.
That's awesome. And with Memphis Teacher Residency and Kingsbury, both of those have been strategic partners of ours. Is that what brought you to Sycamore View, or what was your journey to getting here to our church?
Well, actually, me and my wife, Charisse, at the time, back in 2016, were foster parents.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the kids that we were fostering, which we eventually adopted, Brittany, was a part of, I guess, the Girls and Boys Club here.
Yeah.
And we wanted to have a stable environment for her. And so that really is what led us to choose Sycamore View as a church.
Wow. That's awesome. Now you have 4 more kids.
Yeah.
Whole household. We love the Clark family. You guys are involved in so many different ways here at our church, which is awesome. What do you think is the best part of being a teacher?
I think it's the kids, to see, just to kind of steer adventures in the classroom and see their smiles when they have an aha moment and they get the material, and just to see them grow. And I think that's my favorite part of teaching, is just being a partner in their learning and understanding and growing.
That's awesome. Brenda also said the aha moment, so I love that. That's a thing you both have in common. What do you think is the hardest part about being a teacher?
Well, specifically for me, and this is something for me, is just the organizational part. If you are handed a tough assignment, then it's organize or die. So you have to have some type of purposeful preparation, and follow some type of game plan, or else it's sink or swim, type of situation. So I think that's the hardest part, and once you recognize that and intentionally strive to get better at that makes a lot of things easier, especially the big unknowns that are out there, and there are plenty of those.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. And so you were on staff at Kingsbury for 10 years. Can you tell people who might not be familiar with Memphis Teacher Residency, can you tell a little bit about that program, what that does?
Okay, so MTR, as we call it for short, it puts prospective teachers in the classroom and also gives them a master's degree at the same time, so that you are getting the experience of classroom teacher firsthand while getting the necessary knowledge you would need to become an effective classroom teacher. And so it's 1-year program, but if you want your master's degree to be free, you stay in the placement of your school for 3 years. So if you teach, if you stay in a program essentially for 4 years, it becomes a free master's degree program.
Yeah.
And so that's basically the summation of that.
That's awesome. There's a lot of Kingsbury teachers that are MTR residents, right?
Yes.
They place a lot at Kingsbury. So
yeah, that's
awesome. What were some of the most memorable ways you saw our church show up to support you while you were on staff there?
Oh, man, I love the sidewalk chalk, because that was the kids have enjoyed seeing that. But my favorite really was the cookouts. I looked forward to eating real food instead of no offense, but what they were serving in the cafeteria. But yeah, having the barbecue and the sandwiches and chips, and that's comfort food for me. And
Yeah.
so I really looked forward to those days.
Yeah, that's always a fun time in the alleyway to get both Kingsbury Middle School and high school.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys start eating breakfast at like 9 a.m.
It's something ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, lunch at 9
yeah,
a.m.
it's lunch.
That's when I'm used to
Yeah.
breakfast. But how can we be praying for you as you begin this new school year?
So for the very first time, I'm teaching an AP course.
Oh, okay.
And so AP Computer Science, I just finished my certification last week. And just to pray that this new school year goes smoothly, since, I'm starting a new thing. It seems like every year I'm doing something new. So, but this year, that's the new thing.
Yeah.
And just to pray that, it goes well.
Yeah, that's the big thing about teaching. Each year is a different thing. Once you think you got it figured out, they throw a new curriculum or throw a new class at you, and
always.
You're back to being a beginner again.
Yeah.
So we'll be praying that goes well for you. I'm going to end how I like to end every podcast, asking you to share a short prayer or hope that you have for our church. We're looking back at 50 years, but we're also looking forward to the future. So what is a prayer that you have for our church as we look towards the future?
A prayer to not forget diverse families. And when I say diverse families, I mean diverse families. So you got the families where there's somebody at the house raising the kids, or you got the families that both parents are working and, child care is an astronomical cost, to be able to be a church for all of those families would be my prayer for Sycamore View.
Yeah, I love that. It's a good reminder. And thank you for being here. Thanks for jumping in to do the video and the podcast. And like I said, we're thankful your whole family ended up here through all the connections that you guys had to our church when you first got here, to seeing your kids growing up here now. It's awesome. So what a blessing to have you guys here. And next month, our podcast will be about the prison ministry. So we'll see you then.